Hey everyone, let's talk about making money. Why don't we? So what I'm going to talk about today is something that I went over with my team um, just a few weeks ago. If you don't know, John Lee Dumas is following the path of a few internet marketers and I think different companies where they're completely transparent about their income and their expenses. And it's fascinating to watch if you want to know how to run a 6-7 figure business. What's really interesting is, and I don't think you guys know, was it 7 years ago, 2012, I interviewed John Lee Dumas about podcasting, and he just started out, like really just at the beginning. So he interviewed me, and then I interviewed him. He interviewed me about being the G Plus Go-To Gal, and I interviewed him about starting podcasts. And then my buddy, Luis Galarza, asked him the question of like, okay, dude, how do you monetize this, right? And what was really cool is that John had a very interesting answer. So I'm going to share that with you. And if you guys want to watch the entire interview, it's actually really nice to see where someone started out and where they are today. So you kind of, know the journey that they go with. And this is actually one of the reasons that John is sharing his income report on his website. So we'll dive into that. But first, I want to show you this little part where Luis is asking John, how do you monetize this? And listen to John's answer. It's very interesting. So let's check it out. Here we go. Make that bigger.
Stay in. And so there's just a lot of reasons why I wanted to go audio. Another one of the main reasons is because I really feel like most people are going to be consuming my content while they're in the car, while they're working out, while they're going for a jog, walking the dog, and they don't necessarily need or want to just see two talking heads. That's not appealing to me. So again, I was feeling like it wouldn't be appealing to my target listener.
It's also a little easier, right? It's
Much easier.
and it's faster to produce. We have 3 more minutes of your time. Luis had a question. Luis, let me unmute you. There you go.
So, if you want to watch the entire thing, then head over to amthatgeek.com/John Lee Dumas, and you'll watch the entire interview with John, which is really interesting. So, that's done, right? So John did not have an idea of how he's going to monetize his podcast. He just knew in his gut, right, that this is something he wants to do. There's a market for it, and he was one of the very first to start podcasting. So let's look at the income report and let's see, do you think making 6 figures online, is it myth or truth or fiction, myth or truth, or something like that, right? Can you make 6 figures online without your own products, without ads? I think he has some funnels, but let's take a look, right? And the reason why I want to share this with you is because it's very inspiring to watch a path, right? And actually people walking on the path and know that this is something that you can do as well if you put some of the same things in place for yourself. So let's talk about that. So let's look at John's report from June, right? So this is June 2019, and you can find that on John's website, Entrepreneur on Fire. You can go on there yourselves and you can take a look and you can dive into it just as I'm diving into it right now. So let's see. So 2019, June 2019, John made $353,000 and $353,200, right? Hey Cheryl, thanks for being here. And the expenses are $29,539. So first of all, I just love how lean his business is, how very little expenses he has, and how much he's taking home, which is pretty cool. So this is John talking about why he's publishing the income report, and it's the same idea. Watching the challenges, watching the journey is, helpful for everybody else. So then he has some tips, tax tips and stuff like that you can read. And this is what happened in June in Podcast Paradise, blah, blah, blah. We're going down. Here's the breakdown. Okay. So June 2019 income breakdown, products and services, 156,308. And here's what's very interesting. So product and services, this is what John himself created, right? So he has the Freedom Journals, and he sold a few on the website, and Amazon sold a lot more. 169, so he made $4,623. Then another journal, the Mastery Journal, 2,583. The Podcast Journal, 4,541. And then this is the community, which is pretty cool, because what's really nice about the community is recurring revenue, not too shabby. But look at that, not so many members. And this is one of the myths that everybody who's thinking about doing anything kind of like recurring online think that they need to have so many members, right? I need to have 500 members, 1,000 members, 1,000,000 views, and all that stuff in order to make money. And as you can see from what John is doing, and you saw as well, if you haven't yet, watch the interview with Sean D'Souza, who's been running a community for 16 years now, and just that community allows him to take 3 months vacation. And what's very nice about that, same thing, no ads, no content, no tons of like online marketing and content creation and all that jazz. Just really focusing on adding value. You don't need huge numbers to make a really good income. So just that, hey Batya, so just that alone should be a relief, right? Like, I don't need so many people, right, to make a living. I just need to have a loyal audience, people who stick around for as long as possible. And there are ways to do that. If you want to know how Sean D'Souza is doing it, check out imthatgeek.com replays, and you can watch the entire interview. So back to that. So we got community, and here's another really cool thing about the community, just 35 new members. So again, not growing super fast, but growing very steady. So all that stuff in June was $33,083. And then he has some free courses, which is Real Revenue. I'm sorry, that's a paid courses. So Real Revenue Crew, that's a mastermind that is closed, so no money in June. And then podcast sponsorship, 105,760, and the website, selling websites for people, $5,000, and then some audiobooks and ebooks. So all that jazz, all those courses, right, came up to 156,308. So that's work. Right? You have to create the journals, you have to market them, you have to put them on Amazon, you have to rank them. That's all that work. And now, check this out. Affiliate income, that's more than the product income. 196,892. So that's about, $40,000 more, right? So $40,000 more from affiliate income. And all that stuff, like look at this. These are all services that he recommends. Audible, Bluehost, which is a hosting company, ClickFunnels, $18,000 from that. What's nice about affiliate income is that you don't need to support them at all, right? John refers people to Russell Brunson. Russell takes care of all these people. He provides the training, he provides the support, he provides everything else. And John gets a commission for referring people there. ConvertKit, same thing, right? Disclaimer templates, Fizzle Mastermind. So these didn't really do anything, right? And then courses. So he was promoting Tony Robbins, and he was promoting David Siteman Garland and Amy Porterfield and John Morrow and Ethan Sigman and Dan Locke. And from referring other people's courses, again, he doesn't need to support them. He doesn't need to create the content. He doesn't need to, create any marketing and promotions. All these guys are doing all that stuff, right? So from all that stuff, sorry for the thing, 196,892. Now, it's really cool to look also at the expenses, which were not very bad, right? So you make $353,200 and your expenses are almost $27,000. And you can see what it's on. Advertising, less than $1,000. Affiliate commissions that he paid to other people promoting the community, almost $3,000. Accounting, cost of goods sold, these are all the books and the journals, right? Charitable contributions, fulfillment, shipping, design and branding, subscriptions, education, meals and entertainment, merchant bank fees, all that stuff came up to almost $27,000. So what's really, really cool about that, you can look at all these expenses and everything here. So what I love what John says right here, your time is limited. Oops, the pip. Your time is limited. You lost my audio. Why did you lose my audio, Batya? I don't know, refresh. So your time is limited. Why? And that is super, super important because you don't have the time to create all that stuff, to do all these things, right? You should focus your time on the things that you love doing. And what is it that you love doing, right? Some people love selling cupcakes. Some people love just engaging with people. Some people love recording. Some people love being on stage. And all that other stuff that you hate doing, do what Roland Fraser says. Outsource the grind, right? So here's a really cool way. If you are not a course creator, if you don't want to mess, hey Haroon, if you don't want to mess with ads, and if you don't want to mess with websites, and if you don't want to mess with copy and funnels and all that other jazz, if you don't want to mess with any of that, you can still make 6 figures if you build an audience, right? And the audience trusts you enough to buy whatever it is that you recommend. So they come to you as the thought leader and they ask you, what should I be doing, right? What website should I go to? Who's my hosting? Who should I get as a graphic designer? What course should I buy? And you refer them, just as John has been doing for services and people, right? You refer them and then you get a commission from that. So you can make a really, really nice living just becoming the go-to person in your industry, in your niche. You don't have to create anything. I keep saying that. You don't have to create anything. You just need to be visible, trustworthy, build an audience that follows you and trust whatever it is that you're saying. And to do that, all you need to do is engage and build those relationships that people can start trusting you and relying on you. So I hope this is encouraging, because a lot of people out there just want to live their life, make it easy, and there's so much content already out there. You don't need a website or a blog, Batya, to recommend any of those products, right? Because if you come to me, you know me, right? We are in a WhatsApp group, or you have my phone number, or you got my email, and you go like, Yifat, I'm trying to achieve XYZ, right? What should I use? And I tell you, here, use this product, and I give you my affiliate link. I don't need a website for that. I send you to their website, right? So they have a website, they have the promotions, they have the support, they have all that other stuff. All you need to do, I'm not sure you need anything more than a landing page or an email capture. Yeah, you don't need that. You just need to build relationships with people who trust you. That's really all you need. So whether you communicate with them on your phone, in WhatsApp, whether you communicate with them in email, whether they have your phone number, that's the basic level. Now, if you really want to build a list and start building relationships with people and start providing them value, again, you don't need to create shit, right? You can just start sharing articles that other people are writing. If you agree with them, share your thoughts. Go to Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, blogs, forums, all that jazz, and just be that helpful advisor. Become that person who refers to other things, right? So people can start trusting you for having their best interest in mind. And it's very helpful as well when you're promoting other people, because then people feel like you don't have an interior motive behind it. So the easiest way to get started is to start engaging with people, positioning yourself as the thought leader, and just being helpful and helping people, right? So that's the easiest way. If you want to take it the next level, then you can do what I'm doing, where you can have a show, where you interview people, where you start, getting more visibility, more reach, having your own community, having your own products, all that stuff. Because half of John's income in June was from his own products. Nobody's going to frown upon making another $160,000, right? From your own thing. But what I'm trying to say in this little video is that you need to start somewhere. And that somewhere should be owning your audience, becoming that thought leader, and sharing other people's products if you want to make an income without drowning in content marketing. So step one, build an audience. Right? Whether you do that through live streaming, whether you do that through on social media, just, sharing other people's information, whether you do it in an email list, find a way to become an authority in your niche, right? The go-to person for everything, like in Batya's case, real estate. If you want to know anything about real estate in Austin, Batya's name should come up. If you want to know anything about marketing, thank you so much, Harun. Quality on presentation. Thank you. So if you want to know, if you should be the person who pops up in people's minds when they think about whatever it is that you're doing. So in my case, when you think about engagement, I want you to think about me. When you think about conversion, branding, live video, communities, I want you to think about me. What is it that you want to be known for? For that, start sharing information, start building relationships with people, start engaging in other groups and in other people's communities, and just add value, right? Start with that. Start with the adding value. You don't need to create anything. The internet is already filled with tons of content. Start with adding value, building those relationships, and then step by step, you can start raising your game up to where you become John Lee Dumas, Oprah, Gary Vee, what's his name, Joe Rogan, all these other people. But it takes time, right? It takes a lot of time. So John started in 2012. If you haven't started in 2012, it's not late, but just know it's going to take you a few years to get there. And the best thing that you can do right now is focus on building an audience, right? Becoming known for whatever it is you want to be known for. Hang out in the places where people are discussing the stuff that you want to be known for, and start adding value to that. So I hope that was helpful. If you need any help with any of that stuff, we can talk. Jump on a quick call. Let's see if we can help you in any way. So my web address should be above, below, to the side, depending on when you're watching me. viralconnectivity.com. We can jump on a 10-minute call and I can answer any of your questions. So hopefully that was valuable. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next broadcast.